The keys to manifesting your desires always lie within your subconscious mind. So the next question I know you're going to ask me is, how exactly do I reprogram my subconscious mind? Well, today I've got you covered and I'm sharing with you 5 tools to get you started on subconscious reprogramming so that you can bust through your blocks and start manifesting your desires. So if you want to find out what the tools are, then be sure to keep watching. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a spiritual life and business coach, and I'm so excited to have you here today. I'd love to welcome you aboard, whether this is your first time or your 17th time. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you spending time in your busy life hanging out here with me. If you don't know, this channel is all about up-leveling your life. I'm giving you a training every single week that is going to help you do that through my favorite tools of mindset and manifestation. And I'd really hate you to miss out on anything. So be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification button just to be sure you're notified when a new video goes live. As I said, I am a spiritual life and business coach, and I am currently accepting people into my group manifestation coaching program. If you are looking for a way to massively up-level your life in just 6 weeks, then you're gonna wanna come on over and fill out an application form, and I'm gonna tell you more about this process at the end of the video. So today we are talking about the art of subconscious reprogramming, which is one of my favorite topics in the whole wide world. So when I first started my manifestation kick, which was, like almost 8 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that, I really got into it from the spiritual side of things, which is talking all about energy and, sort of the classic way of manifesting. But of course, through my journey, through the work that I did, I eventually came up against manifesting blocks, and I started to become really curious about why it was so easy to manifest some things and why it was almost impossible to manifest other things. So the way I teach manifesting, I always say it's a little bit different than many of the other people that teach manifesting. But the way I teach it is that, we are still talking about energy. We are still talking about becoming an energetic match to what we want. However, I also know that you can change your energy and your emotional state by changing your thoughts. So a lot of the work that I do is really thought-based. It's really psychology-based. And the more that I've dived into this, the more effective that I found it to be. And what is really getting to the root of the problem and really has created the most results for me in my life is the subconscious reprogramming stuff. So the real problem happens here because you think of what you want to manifest. You think of, I want, this car, I want $1,000, I want a new girlfriend, whatever the things are, and they sound amazing. And your conscious brain is all on board and it's ready to go out there, think positively, and to manifest. So then why don't your manifestations show up when you think they should? That is the eternal question. And the answer almost always lies within your subconscious mind. That's because choosing your desire, deciding on it, and going for it, that is really important. But that is part of your conscious brain, right? But the conscious brain is where we are doing our life design, where we're deciding on the things that we want. And all of that stuff is super important. However, your subconscious mind is what's really running the show. And we are all running subconscious programs. We're running them all the time without even realizing what's happening. So the thing is, we were all basically just our subconscious mind at a point in time. From age 0 to age 7, you are basically just your subconscious mind without the filter of your conscious mind. So when you're a child, you are just going to automatically pick up or imprint or program the things that you see or the things that you hear around you. That means we have picked up all kinds of thoughts and beliefs and ideas about the world that are not actually ours and are not actually doing any favors for us. For example, I always talk about this one, but the whole money scarcity, money lack idea, if you heard a belief like money doesn't grow on trees, I heard similar things when I was a child. Like I was always kind of modeled that money was hard, money was scarce, money was something you really had to try really hard to get. And of course, that is the program that I carried with me into adulthood. So that is just the way it works. We just automatically take in these things. But of course, when you're an adult and you decide that you want to create more money and you're still carrying around this belief that money is hard or money just can't appear for you, it is going to get in your way because your subconscious brain is going to carry out acting as if that subconscious belief is true. So we need to go in and think about our limiting beliefs. We need to identify them. And then we need to do the work to reprogram them. And that is where subconscious reprogramming comes in. I wish you could just think of a limiting belief and just decide to choose something new, and then that would be it. But unfortunately, that isn't the way the brain works. So your brain has been thinking this pattern of way of thinking for a very long time. And the more that you have thought a certain way, the more deeply it is ingrained in you. So that means it's going to take a bit of effort on your part to get in there, pull out that old belief and replace it with something new. Creating a new belief in your brain literally takes new energy, and your brain loves to save energy. So basically, if you can think of your neurons as paths in a jungle. So right now there's a very well-worn path that's going to take you from A to B. But you want to go a different way, or you want to go to a different outcome. So you need to forge a new path. So basically you need to get out in the jungle with your machete, go through the trees, and one time is going to be harder, right? It's going to take work to get through that jungle. And then if you don't ever go back down that path again, it's going to grow back over. And you're going to have to go through and cut down the branches again and keep going again. So the point of creating a new thought is that we just keep having to do that. We keep having to go down the new path. We keep having to go this way instead of the very bright, well-lit path going the other way. So that's sort of a good analogy for how you can think about your subconscious brain and how it takes a bit of time and effort on your part to create the thinking that you want. But even though that might sound like a lot of work, I just want to really empower you right now to take this on as a project of self-love, right? You are a conscious adult. You are a conscious creator. This is your world. You are creating your world with your thoughts. So if you just go back into the thinking, the way of being that you've always had, again, like I always say in these videos, you are going to keep creating the same results. If you are serious, on the other hand, about creating a new result, then it is up to you to do the work to reprogram yourself. So just like you cannot outsource doing your sit-ups, you cannot outsource doing your brain reprogramming. You can't outsource your subconscious mind work. You can't have someone do that for you. You need to show up and do it for yourself. But I really just want to remind you that this is your life. And if you want to live your life to the best of your abilities, then you want to live by your beliefs. You want to have beliefs that serve you instead of harming you and getting in the way of what you really want. I know sometimes people think, well, I've thought this way my whole life, so what's the big deal? Why should I bother doing reprogramming work? But this is what I'm trying to tell you. If you're feeling stuck, or if you're feeling like there's a goal that you just can't up-level your way to, it is really a matter of going in and shifting deeply the way you think about yourself or the world, or both in most cases. So with that being my little intro, today what I really wanted to talk about was tools that can allow you to do this for yourself. So the subconscious brain, it's not like it's just one way to do things. There's always multiple modalities that can help us to access this stuff. And I'm going to give you 5 modalities today. And in fact, many of them are free or are things that you can do for yourself. So the good news is this is work you can handle. You can totally do this if you want to, but I just really want to encourage you to pick something to go with it, to explore. Maybe try out all the modalities, but really just make sure that this is part of your ongoing practice. Again, if you are already manifesting the things you want, if you are not stuck, if you are in the money, in the relationship, in all the things, then it's cool. You don't need to do this. But if you're not quite there yet, I would really suggest that you do this. Okay, subconscious reprogramming tool number 1 I'm going to give you is affirmations. Affirmations, I know, are one of those things that people either really, really love or they really, really resent. And I really understand where the resentment comes from, because I think a lot of people learn how to use affirmations in a way that ends up hurting them more than helping them. So basically what an affirmation is, it is just picking a thought, picking a belief, picking an idea that you want to have in your brain and just repeating it to yourself multiple times a day. So maybe you make it a habit of repeating this to yourself when you're in the lineup at the grocery store, or stuck in traffic, or in the elevator, or wherever else you are during your day. And I know people, like I said, I know that there's a lot of flack around affirmations because some people just don't believe it could be that easy. And it really isn't that easy. The thing is, affirmations work the way your brain works. They work with repetition. So the more that you repeat something, the more that you kind of try it on for size, the more you go down that new pathway in the jungle, the easier it is going to get. But it does require you to do the repetition. I think what happens many times with affirmations is people do them for like a day or two and then think, oh, this isn't working, and then they stop. But I really encourage you to just keep going with this, especially because this is such an easy thing for you to do. It is so simple for you to pick an affirmation and just work with it throughout your day. The other thing I'd like to say about affirmations is that sometimes people bite off more than they can chew. And then that creates cognitive dissonance. So for example, if you are working with weight issues and your affirmation is, I love my strong, healthy body, but you don't feel like you have a strong, healthy body right now. And right now, every time you think that to yourself, it just kind of highlights the difference between where you are now and where you want to go. Then the affirmation becomes more like a punishment, like I'm kind of shining a light directly on the thing that I want to change. So that isn't good, and that's going to, like I said, create more pain for you around this instead of aligning you to it. So in that case, I would suggest going to a neutral affirmation instead of going all the way to the thing that you want. So that's my little affirmation side note tip for you. But affirmations really do work, and if you are wanting to try subconscious reprogramming, this is the perfect, simple, free way for you to go. Okay, subconscious reprogramming method number 2 is EFT, or Emotional Freedom Technique, which you may have seen around the YouTubes. There are so many videos out there teaching you how to do this for all kinds of different topics. Basically, how EFT works is that you tap on different points. I'm not going to do the whole thing right now. And what you're really doing is like they're like acupressure points, and you're sort of saying something out loud or thinking something and kind of wiring in this new belief, this new idea into your body through the acupressure. So again, this is a really simple, easy, free thing that you can do at any time. And I'd really suggest that you look into this if this seems like something cool or interesting that you want to take a part of. If you want me to do a video for EFT tapping on manifestation or something else, let me know. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. But I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to do a whole training today, but EFT, look into it if you're looking for something. Okay, the third thing I wanted to share with you today is NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which is a scary technical sounding name for something that is actually so not. I feel like this came from like the old boys club. It totally did come from an old boys club. Who am I kidding? Old Bandler and Grinder. Anyway, you don't need to know about that. What you really need to know is that neuro-linguistic programming is just a way for you to speak directly to your subconscious brain. So while your conscious brain speaks in, words, in concepts, it's very good at logical thinking, your subconscious brain does not work the same way. Your subconscious brain works in pictures and feelings. And so neuro-linguistic programming is all about communicating with your brain in a way that it can understand. So there are so many tools and techniques in NLP. NLP is relatively new to me. I took an NLP course last year and I really love it. I really think this creates amazing results. If you want to search, or actually I'll leave it right here, I have an NLP video for you to watch, but this is a really amazing way for you to get deep on a particular issue and to reprogram it the way that you want. So I'd really suggest trying that out, especially if you're willing to do a session and work with a coach. The fourth method I'm going to talk about today is hypnosis. I know hypnosis always sounds a little scary to people at first, but it's actually something that happens to us all the time. We are in hypnotic states all the time. And really what this is just changing the brainwave state of where your brain usually is in its beta state and bringing it down to a theta state, which is the state that we're in right before we fall asleep, basically. So when you're in that state, your brain is a bit more open and suggestible, and it is easier to communicate the things that you want to your brain. So what I really like about this is combining hypnosis with NLP together to create a super modality that can really help you to become unstuck and to reprogram whatever's happening inside of you. This is what I do in my belief reprogramming sessions. So if you're interested in setting up a one-on-one 90-minute session with me, I'm gonna leave a link for that below. Okay, my fifth and final method that I wanted to share with you today is journaling. Yeah, really, journaling can do a whole lot to help you reprogram your subconscious mind. So I am a huge fan of journaling. Actually, journaling is something I've become super passionate about over the last few months. It was never a practice, in all honesty, that I felt I got a lot out of for a long time, even though I dabbled with it here or there. But I have really made this part of my regular morning routine, and I'm really encouraging you to do the same thing. So there are many ways to journal, but the thing that works with journaling is basically repetition. And also I believe that there's just something about using your hand to write things out and using your hand to create affirmations or using your hand to work out things that in your brain that can really help you to rewire your brain. So again, this is all based on repetition and an emotional connection, an emotional charge. But that's the way our brain works. Our brain works through repetition and emotional charge. Of course, you can also, that's how NLP works as well. So journaling is really amazing. It is also, again, super simple, super cheap. Anyone can do this. I would really recommend, if you are wanting to start journaling for manifestation, that you just start writing out what you want. Write it out all the time. Write out your perfect day, write out your desires, write out limiting beliefs. You can write out so many different things with journaling, and you can really do the work, a lot of the work of working with a coach, only working by yourself for free. So I'm really excited to have created a brand new product for you guys, and this is my Manifestation Journaling Masterclass. So this is a digital workshop where you get a video and some workbooks all about how to create a magical journaling practice for yourself. Like I said, I am super passionate about this. I really believe journaling is a wonderful modality for helping us to reprogram our subconscious mind. In this workshop, I'm going deeper into how this works specifically, as well as giving you some core practices to do and a whole whack of journaling prompts to get you started. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I'm gonna leave a link for that below. So that brings us to the end of today's training, and I'd love to thank you so much for watching this far, but I really hope that you got some inspiration in today's training and you learned something new. I hope that this empowers you to go out there and take the reins of your own life and to start to do the subconscious programming you need in order to manifest your desires. So another big thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I see you. I love you. Thank you again. If you like this video, give it a like. And other than that, I'll see you guys back here in the next one. So until then, as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.